Right, so we've got a 1600 Winston here. To start off with, looking at your tank line, you are running Winston Reinhardt. So, in this case, you as Winston would be considered the off tank. Reinhardt is and forever will be a main tank. And so, as the off tank role playing with a Reinhardt, your job is to kind of harass the enemy, right? To kind of take off angles, take flanks. If you can, jump down on a squishy and secure the kill, right? You just want to be annoying, right? The other thing you have to keep in mind is that as the off tank, you are also the primary role to peel for your team, right? So if somebody is diving your supports, it is more or less your job to go help them. And so, starting on defense, this is actually okay. I like this. You're very aggressive, so you have to be very careful. The good news is Winston has jump ability, so if you get in danger, you can very easily jump out. Um, do be careful when you do things like this. They are running an Ana, and so like a good team, they know that you're there, or if they just walk around the corner, they're gonna sleep you, and then Doomfist is gonna punch you in a wall. You're gonna get frozen. Like they're just gonna collapse on you and punish you for being in such an aggressive position. But starting here, like I said, it's a little bit aggressive, and I like it. So what I would be looking for you to do here is wait until they push up here, and then you kind of just drop down, use this car as cover, and like just start tickling someone. Use your cannon, just start cleave damage. If you're lucky, you can get a pick on the Ana, and then drop your bubble for protection, and then you can use your jump to escape back to your team. So that's what I would be looking for here. That would be the optimal play. Um, with Winston, like any kind of dive hero, you want to manage your cooldowns so that you always have protection or an escape, right? So you have bubble and jump. So there aren't many times when you want to jump into somebody, or rather, if you jump into their back line, you need to have your bubble up with you so you know that you can survive, and then you need um, at least survive long enough for your jump to reset, and then you need to be able to jump back into a position where your team can support you. So here, if you do jump in their backline somewhere here, you are still within jump distance of your team and support. Um, However, the one thing you do need to pay attention to is that main healer is AFK in spawn, right? So you are only running Ana heals. You have to be mindful of that. You have to be careful of that. So in any case, let's see what happens.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Little thing, crouch walk when you're doing this. Um, yeah, as you get into higher levels, people are better at listening to sound cues, and they would hear your footsteps, and they would know that there's somebody behind them. So just by crouching, it muffles your footsteps, and it makes you harder to hear. Okay. So that was good, actually. You chose Winston, which was the wrong target. Like I would have dropped down here and pressured this Ana instead. But what you did there was like pretty perfect, actually. You just chose the wrong target. You dropped down. You did bubble a little bit early. You could have just sat there and tickled them because they took a little while to turn and look at you. Um, of course, you were mindful that there's an Ana there, so the unfortunate thing is Anna being so close that she has two abilities that are just death sentence to you: anti-nade and sleep. Right. So when you drop bubble, what Annas are going to do is they're just going to walk in your bubble and throw nade on the ground, and then you're going to be purple. You're not going to be able to get healed, and you're pretty much dead. Or they're going to walk in here, they're going to sleep you, and then the enemy team is just going to collapse on you and kill you. But that was the right idea. You dropped down here, you put some damage in, and then when you started getting pressured, you jumped back to your team. That was pretty good. Just remember, as Winston, it's hard for you to burn down tanks usually, especially when they have support. You don't do that much damage, so want to generally focus on the squishies. That's where most of your value is going to come from, is putting pressure on the squishy characters. Like Anna is perfect. Um, Baptiste is good as well. You can draw out his immortality field, and there's not a whole lot he can do to you. Um, Another thing there too is when you're up close like that, throw in a couple of melee clicks every now and then as well, right? So shoot melee, shoot melee. Your DPS is actually higher when you throw in melee because your Tesla cannon does so little damage. That extra 30 damage from your quick melee attack is to increase your DPS, and you're going to burn through targets a little bit faster.
Thanks.
I'm back on the flank. I like it. Okay. So I like this, right? You retreated to your team for heals, and then you went back on the flank, right? That's really good. I like seeing that. However, I would have waited just an extra second or two until you had both your cooldowns available, right? So your bubble is almost ready. Like, you're 1 second here, but that extra second could be crucial, right? You just sit here, wait for a second or two, and then, you can walk out here and just jump on this Anna, right? And you bubble her so she can't get any help, and you dance around your shield, you kill her, and then you jump back to safety, right? So that goes for pretty much any flanking character. You want your cooldowns available to you. You want your escapes, you want your protections. Um, wait to engage until you have your cooldowns, right? It's very important whenever you're playing any playing characters. You got pressure, you got back out, that's good. However, Doomfist just collapsed on your backline. Not much your team could have done there. Doomfist just kills Soldier and Anna. Yeah, throwing melees. Yeah, so that's just... So, like I said there, right off the start, target priority, you chose the wrong target, but so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing in terms of positioning, in terms of your decision making. It's unfortunate that Doomfist dove your backline, killed your soldier, killed your Anna, and I mean that's what Doomfist does. Doomfist is a direct counter to both those heroes, right? So Anna has to be very vocal in chat whenever the Doomfist is diving her. So she can sleep him, she can anti-nade him, but that's it, right? And so your team has to collapse with that. And your soldier should probably switch off. There is not much he can do against the enemy team comp. Like Doomfist and Winston are counters to Soldier. They're running Diva as well, which is another counter to Soldier. Like Soldier cannot do anything against the enemy's team comp. Your Soldier should switch off to somebody like Reaper, to pressure their monkey, and Reaper can do a decent amount of damage to Doomfist and is scary enough that Doomfist doesn't want to dive him. Anyway, again, that's not you. That's not what we're here to look at. But see where you go from here. Little thing, take the teleporter and then jump in. Because as Winston, I believe you can actually make this jump up and over. Yeah, just take the teleporter. Save your jump for that last little bit. Yep, nice. Good kills.
Everyone.
Let's see if they use one to go. All of us kill that. Okay, so two little things. When you jump, you can do a quick melee as you land, and so you get the burst damage from your jump landing and your melee, right? Again, it increases your DPS. It's a good amount of burst damage. It's going to help you secure kills a little bit faster. There, you could have chased down that monkey. You probably could have killed him. Yeah, Doomfist is scary, but you have escapes, right? And I mean, I bet you could have killed Monkey there, right? And then you hear Doomfist charging up, you could back up a little bit. I can see where your mind's at. You want to play a little bit safer, which is fine, but securing those kills, especially on any hero, that is just, it's very important. It's a huge advantage for you guys. It staggers the enemy team. Let's see how you use Monkey mode. End up getting a kill, so I like this. Yes! Kill her, do it. Do it! Chase her down, jump on her. Nice! Okay, so
Survival of the fittest.
That was the right play, right? That was a good decision. You come up here, you get high ground, you saw the Anna all alone, right? You jumped down on her, right? That's where you should have jumped, quick melee'd, and then you just kept on chasing her. You didn't waste bubble, which I really liked. You kept on chasing her. If you threw in a couple more melees in there, you probably could have burned her down a little bit quicker. Um, and that's really, the only problem I had with that is that it just took you a little bit longer to burn her down because you're not utilizing Monkey's gun and his quick melee. Could have jumped her a little bit earlier as well. So like as she started to run away from you, um, Winston does have the ability to control his jumps. So yeah, of course, if you look up the maximum angle, he does have a maximum angle that he can launch upwards at, and I think it's like 45 degrees or something like that, or 50 degrees. I can't remember exactly, but and pushing forward, it'll jump you farther. But if you just hit shift and then push your backwards key, whatever it is, you can actually control how far your jump goes, and you can do these little short jumps and like land right on top of the Ana and burn her down very quickly. Right? And because you took so long over here, your team just got rolled. She kind of that was good, right? What you did there was good. I liked it. You went on the high ground. You dropped down on the Ana. You didn't waste your cooldowns. You probably could have used jump to try and secure that kill a little bit earlier, but that positionally, decision-wise, that was good. Just kind of want to see what happened with your team during that team fight. Was it... So you kill the Winston. So you're up 1. So yeah, kill a Winston, you're up 1. Doomfist jumps in and just deletes your sim, which, yeah, not much you can do there. Yeah, so Doomfist is kind of just rolling your team. There's not a lot that you can do here as Winston. You can go like Zarya or Hog. I wouldn't say Hog's a lot harder to counter Doomfist with, but Zarya is probably the next best counter to her for the off tank. But Doomfist is currently rolling your team, so at this point, you guys need to acknowledge that, and you need to make some adjustments to deal with that, right? Because right there, you guys were up 1, and then Doomfist just manhandled his way in, killed your sim, killed your Ana, right? Pushed your Rhine back out of choke, has almost killed Soldier, and he's probably going to secure that kill pretty quick here. Right, so as a team, you guys have to acknowledge when you're being countered, and you need to make adjustments like right now. Even if you have like 80% to ult, if you guys are getting rolled, somebody like Soldier, he's not going to get good use out of his ultimate because there's just so many counters to him on the enemy team, right? And ideally, you'd want someone like McCree, right? But McCree's banned right now. Yeah, again, this isn't you. This isn't your play. This is as a team, and it's one of those things that you should be in voice chat talking about. Hey guys, Doomfist is rolling our team. Can we change things up a little bit to try and deal with him, right? Your Ana's going to appreciate that, definitely. Don't just straight out call somebody and say, hey, Soldier, you need to switch. That's just being toxic, and he's probably going to take that the wrong way. What you need to do is address the entire team. Be like, hey, we need to adjust something here. We need to change something. Overwatch is a team game. It takes a team of you guys to win this. But unfortunately, in solo queue, you more often than not don't get that kind of coordination. So there you could have done a little bit of a short distance jump. Melee.
Survival of the
Okay. So, all right. So don't forget. Okay, I see what you're doing here. You're stalling out point, trying to get it as long as you can. Don't forget that as monkey mode, you have this jump, right? And it's on a very, very rapid cooldown, and it does impact damage when you land, right? Don't forget about that. So you can still be jumping like up in the air, avoiding damage, pushing them away from point. You could be doing all this and jumping in the air just to help yourself last a little bit longer, avoid some damage, and make sure you don't get burned down very quickly. Now, the one thing, too, that they've done is they've popped window, right? Which means that you want to stay away from that, right? Because when they shoot through here, they're doing twice as much damage. So it is a very bad window. In all honesty, it's very easy for you to stay away from that, but definitely do what you can to avoid being in that line of fire. Melee, 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 melee. Some melees in there. That's good, that'll take you to the little short jump. I would jump up to high ground there. So, little thing there. I would jump up to high ground and pressure them off. Like, sure, it's Diva and Doomfist, whatever, that are BAP up here, but help your soldier, right? Help your soldier pressure these guys. You can do a lot of cleave damage to them, and there's not a whole lot they can do to you. And if you get pressured, you can just drop down here, go get the health pack, be in range with your Ana, that kind of thing. And plus, then you're on high ground, right? High ground is very valuable, especially like for almost any character, especially as Winston, because from high ground you have so much more mobility, right? You can like stand here and just do cleave damage down on points. You can jump all the way back here, right? You can see much more of the fight. High ground is very valuable for Winston, and you're not making, you did make use of high ground earlier. I shouldn't say you're not making use of it, but here I definitely would have pressured these guys. Again, you're focusing the Diva. There's not a whole lot of damage you can do to the Diva, but these two up here, you can really pressure these two and help your soldier secure kills on two squishies, right? Your Reinhardt and your Sim, where they're all down here fighting the Diva, fighting their Winston. You could be up here supporting your soldier and focusing more on squishies. So that goes back to the target priority bit. Good, good. Nice. Bubble down, I like it. So you can do a little short distance jump. Yep. You didn't need bubble there. They're running Reaper now, so you have to be very careful when and where you jump, because Reaper is just scary to Winston's at any rank. It was good that you jumped up and away from there. I would have jumped a little. You landed on point, which is good, but you didn't need to drop your bubble there. So, like, really, what is your bubble doing here? What is it protecting? What is it denying the enemy team? It's not really doing anything, right? It's sitting there, not really doing much, right? So you could have just as easily jumped up, out, gotten on point, gotten healed, gotten away from danger, and still had your bubble with you. Still had your bubble on cooldown, and then you would have it for when you actually needed it. So, if something jumped on you on point, or you needed to block sight lines of something, whatever. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. So again, you didn't really need bubble there. So I like that. That was alright. So you wasted bubble a little bit earlier here again. You placed it down where it wasn't really protecting anything. It wasn't protecting you. It wasn't denying enemy healers sight lines. It wasn't really doing much, right? But what you did there that I liked is then you saw an opportunity and you jumped on their backline and you went right for the baby Diva, right? So you could either go for the baby Diva or the Lucio. Either one of those would be a good target. So if you can prevent Diva from getting in her mech again, that's huge. Especially if you know that she's close to getting her mech back, which baby Diva builds up that a little bit very quickly. So that was good. I liked that. Again, if you had thrown in a couple of quick melees there, you might have been able to kill Diva before she got back into her mech. But all in all, that was the right play. Use monkey mode, you're on low health. Again, don't forget your jumps. Chase down that Lucio. So I know it's hard with monkey mode, it's a little harder to control, but that's one of the things. You want to kind of pick a target and stay with it, right? So right there, you had Lucio, you had him down to half health, just chase him down, right? Chase him down, burn down that Lucio. If you use your ultimate to not only keep yourself alive, but secure a kill, that's huge, right? Winston's ult is not necessarily about securing kills, but if you have the opportunity to do so, absolutely go for it, right? You can definitely secure kills if you manage to pressure somebody and just punch them enough. You definitely probably could have secured that. You definitely could have secured that kill on that Lucio there.
Meteor strike.
Yeah, so that's just
Remaining.
scramble of a fight. I like how you got out of there, right? You jumped up and over, denied the enemy's sight lines. You got a health pack.
Once more.
Objective lost.
Again, that Doomfist is just doing a lot of work. So right there, you know, that's one of those times where doing those short distance jumps, right? So don't push W and shift, just push shift and then S, right? So while you're in the air, you can use while you're in the air, you can use W, S, whatever, to kind of control how far you jump, as well as your mouse, right? If you're looking down, you're obviously not going to jump as high, not as far, right? And there, you definitely could have landed on Doomfist, threw in a couple of melees there, shocked him. You might have been able to secure that kill, maybe. But working on your jump distance and kind of knowing how far you can jump and how you can manipulate your jump while you're in the air using your directional keys, it's definitely something that that good Winstons know how to do. It's something that you probably need to work
Get in there.
on. Now Winston, scary, go for squishy, yes.
Surrender to my will.
So you're at an energy to keep you alive there, which is good, and you recognize that, hey, you know what, as Nano Winston, I need to go jump on a squishy, so you jump back here, which is beautiful. I like to see that. It's just unfortunate you weren't close enough to pressure that BAP, but you were able to put some pressure on their backline, right? And then Reaper came to check you, and you jumped back here, and then you used your bubbles. So here, you're going to die to the Reaper. When you're down like that, jump back towards your team, right? Jump back to where you can get help, because here, there is nobody that can help you. There's no healers that can get you. There is no DPS that can come and pressure them to help you get out of there. You can't get any kind of support. So what I would have done there instead is jumped back up on top of castle, or jumped in here and grabbed the health pack, and then returned back to the castle, right? And then what you're here is you're also on high ground, right? So you can drop down and right, you can tickle them, drop down, shoot them, drop your bubble, jump back, that kind of thing. Right. As Winston, high ground is very good, right? Because you can be up here, right, and you can use your Tesla cannon to tickle them, and then you can just drop down on them, and you still have jump, you still have bubble to escape. It's you jumped away from your team here instead of towards you.
Meteor strike. Miracle of science.
Nice jump.
Hello.
Subtitles are going to start bothering me. What's that? Oh, whatever. We'll just keep going. Sorry if the subtitles bother you. I like this, dropping down to high ground. Bubbled a little bit early. So, back and watch that again. So here, you drop down, right? Good, I like it. Bubbled a little bit early, and then you decided to turn and look at their Winston. Again, look at their squishies. You are a great counter to Lucio, right? Because you don't have to aim, right? So he can jump around all he wants. Your Tesla cannon is still going to hit him. And you could definitely focus him down here. Again, this bubble wasn't necessarily needed. You're not really under any immediate danger. Winston's Tesla cannon goes through shields anyway, and honestly, Lucio, he can do some damage, you know, but you're not really in any threat. You can hold off using your bubble until you're a little bit lower on health to kind of protect you a little bit. A little bit early on the bubble, that's all. And then, of course, your target priority here, you're just going after the targets you can't kill instead of the targets you can. Okay, see that was an okay bubble because you're dropping down right into the middle of them, so you know that you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Right, so you drop down on them and you start just annoying them. So I like this play, right? I like what you're doing with the high ground. I like that you're dropping in on them. I like that you're not using jump to get into the fight. I like that you're keeping it as your escape to get out. The one thing I don't like here is look where the rest of your team is. Right, all the way back here. So your team really can't support you all that much here. Anna's trying her damnedest, but there's also a Reaper here. So he's kind of really threatening your team. You need to pay a little bit more attention to your team, I guess, right? Um, want to make sure you coordinate your dives when your team engages. So right now you guys are down, right? Doomfist again is doing some serious work against your team. Managed to kill your Pharah, which is kind of impressive. There's a Reaper that's going to be killing your backline pretty quickly here, and then you decide to jump in and 1v5 them. I guess 1v4 technically, which is fine. Again, as Winston, you're kind of there to be annoying and all that, and they're not really. I don't think there's really anything here that they can kill you instantly with. So you can definitely get up and out and away, but again, it's not a team engagement. It's not a team fight. Your team isn't there to support you. Your team isn't there to help you. Team is coming back, right? I mean, sure, your Pharah just died, but you've got both supports. You got your soldier here. Your Reinhardt's almost back, so your team is almost in a position to support you. So this dive here was a little bit early. It probably could have waited, or what you could have done instead is jumped backwards this way to help your team deal with the Reaper. I know that seems kind of counterintuitive, Winston jumping on Reaper, but when there's this many people around, it's good because he's going to focus on you probably rather than your healers. That also said, you do have monkey mode available to you, so you can use this to stall and delay. Really nice. That was good. Keep chasing the Lucio, don't worry about that. Use some monkey mode. Get a bunch of jumps.
It's nearly over.
So when you're ulting like that, don't ever be afraid to jump away. Right? Again, Winston's ult is a not very impactful ultimate. Right? So it is completely okay to not use his jump, right? Or to not use it to stall cards to essentially feed, because at that point you have 1,000 health and they're going to burn you down, they're going to kill you. And so you were just feeding 1,000 points of ult charge to the enemy team. And so it's perfectly acceptable to use that, maybe do a little bit of damage, try and boop someone off the edge if you can, and then just use your incredible mobility to jump away and retreat back to your team, regroup, and push back in later. Doomfist.
10 seconds remaining.
Bubble not needed there. Huge shatter. So that was interesting. Your Rhine landed this huge shatter. Everyone was on the ground, so you could have done a lot of cleave damage there. But I like that you noticed your Moira was back here trying to 1v1 a BAP, and so you jumped in to go help her, right? Your team can deal with the shattered. I really like that, right? That's good. You're recognizing that your Moira's DPSing in their backline for some reason, and you're going to go help her. And then she proceeded to fade off the edge. I know she was trying to fade to get back away, but she fucked that one up. So that was good. Actually, I liked that. This is unfortunate your team wasn't really able to clean up the kills in the shatter, but again, your team is pretty split right now. There's not a whole lot of people who could have followed up on it, even if you had stayed here. Your damage isn't all that significant. I don't know if you would have been able to clean up all those kills. Your Moira should not have been in their backline, and you shouldn't have had to jump over there, but I like that you did. I like that you saw that. Nice. See, there you go. There you go. That was perfect. You landed and you punched. That was perfect. Good. I want to get a health pack.
Powered up. Get in there.
Feeling powerful, and I'm not even angry.
Rocket barrage incoming.
Okay.
Score.
So after the first round, the biggest things that I'm noticing
Switching sides.
are little mechanical things, right? Where you're not really sure about your jump distance, right? So you're not utilizing your short distance jump. You're not really using your jump at all in combat. So a jump has a pretty short cooldown, so don't be afraid to use that when you're in a safe situation or when you're chasing down a kill. Don't be afraid to use that. Excuse me. And then the other thing too is make sure you're throwing in melee attacks every once in a while with your Tesla cannon because you do more damage when you throw in more
Imagination is the essence of
sorry, my train of thought. I just totally lost my train of thought. Melee attacks, right?
True struggle is for the superiority of
Tesla
our
cannon
race.
plus melee is your highest DPS as Winston. Other than that, your decision making was really good. Definitely better than a silver player. You know, you were dropping down from high ground. You were making sure you had jump as an escape. Your bubble usage was not optimal, but it wasn't terrible. Your use of monkey mode was good, right? You used it to kind of save yourself to stall point, which was which is fine, right? That's basically what it's there for.
5,
Um,
4, 3.
the other thing is target priority. So before we get into the second round here, I want to talk a little bit about target priority. Where, again, especially when you're playing with a Reinhardt, you want to focus on being annoying and harassing their backline, right? So always focus on those squishy characters because those are the ones you can kill. Those are the ones you can threaten. Those are the ones who are going to be yelling in team chat like, "Hey, there's a monkey on me. Turn around and help me." And they're going to burn resources trying to deal with you, which is basically what you want. You want to be this distraction so that they put resources into you rather into the rest of your team. So focus on the squishies. I understand that in team fights it can get kind of chaotic and a little more difficult to discern what's going on, but do your best. You seem to show, or you have shown that you have decent situational awareness. Again, above what it looks like a silver player should have, unless silver has changed since I've been there last. But use that. Focus on their squishy characters. And be a leader for your team. One of the biggest things you can do to help yourself climb is be in voice chat, right? And just be that leader, right? Ask everybody to join voice chat, even if they don't want to talk. Just have them there to listen, right? And then make callouts for your team. This Doomfist is wrecking us, right? We need something to deal with him, or Lucio's low. Focus Lucio. Little things like that, right? Just a little bit of target focus, a little bit of leadership from the main tank line can help you go a long ways, right? Leadership, shot calling, talking in general is something that you just don't see in the lower ranks. It does get better as you climb, but people don't understand that communication is key in a team-based game. So, backing up there a little bit. So, Doomfist is in your backline again. Soldier's just getting dunked on, which, I mean, there's nothing Soldier can do against Doomfist again. I'm going to say that all game. This is kind of... I play a lot of Ana, so, when I see this, it stresses me out. There's not a whole lot that can be done. But right there, so going back, you were kind of here tickling them. What I would have done is walked around this corner and just jumped up here, right? And then just started tickling them down this way, right? All of a sudden now they're going to have to do something to deal with you, right? And then, you can jump down on them, you can melee, you can drop your bubble around them, cut off their healing, right? And you're more threatening when you're up here than when you're down here tickling. And you do go up here a little bit later, but as soon as I got around this corner and saw that there wasn't anybody pressuring up here, I would have jumped up here and you can hide this corner, you can Always drop back to your team for healing, or you should be able to. But again, Doomfist is just destroying your backline. So um, again, high ground. Make use of high ground. Good bubble. Good. I like it. All right, you jumped on the Ana, you focused her, you bubble blocked the sleep dart. All of that was really good. Yeah, we're gonna die here. So, that was all really good. Just unfortunate that Doomfist dove your backline, killed half your team.
Feels like I have the bends.
But I do like there, that you jump through their backline, you pressure their Ana.
Meteor strike.
Bubble, beautiful. Beautiful. That was... Saved your Ana there. It's a good try on the short jump. Again, just takes practice to learn that distance is all. I would keep focusing that Doomfist. He's running away from you. But this is okay too, right? You're going on the flank. Stay behind your shield. Okay. So, going back there, what you did there, that was good, right? You kind of went on a soft flank here. You dropped down. I think you probably could have, jumped in on them because there was no one else threatening. So that's one of those times where you could jump in, land on them melee, drop your bubble, and then you kind of shield dance. If you don't know what that is, that's basically, when you have a shield like this, just inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, right? Because when you're inside, anybody outside can't hit you. When you're outside, anybody inside can't hit you, right? And so you kind of do this, and you just make yourself harder to hit for Ana, Zen, for their sleep darts, and Discord, things like that. And so you could have definitely pressured them, and you started getting pressured and low health, and then you jumped out. That was all good, right? Again, I think you could have jumped in and you bubbled a little bit early so that you weren't able to fully pressure them. You saw there as they just backed out of range of your Tesla cannon. So, little things like that, where you might have been able to secure a kill on one of the two of them. And then again, you just Doomfist. Their Doomfist is good, right? That's just unfortunate there, but. Or I'm not too sure if their Doomfist is just good, or if you guys as a team are dealing with it. Don't go in now, your entire team's dead.
This will protect us.
Wasted a 13-second cooldown. Just killing your team again.
Meteor strike. My ultimate is ready.
Okay, Doomfist finally died. Oh, this is not good. Call for help, call for help. Just, yeah.
Survival of the fittest.
So, let's go back and watch that.
Feels like I have the bends. Feels like I have the bends. Meteor strike.
This is what I want to see.
Further experimentation required.
So right there, your entire team is dead. So what you should do is just stop moving, back up to your spawn here, and wait for a full regroup. Because anything you do now is just feeding, right? So you walk in here, you drop your bubble, and your bubble has a long cooldown, and so you waste a very valuable cooldown, and it's doing absolutely nothing, right? So just stop, wait here, your team's slowly regrouping. You still have some time on the clock. It's okay, right? Just hold up, just wait, push in as a team. especially because they have a Doomfist, and it's very easy for Doomfist to pick off a single target. It gets harder when there's an entire team supporting that single target. So, um, as a team, one of the things that you guys can start doing to deal with this Doomfist is just start playing a little more together, right? Stop leaving your Ana behind. Stop leaving your Soldier behind. Again, I'm gonna stand by that Soldier needs to switch because Soldier just gets hard countered by Doomfist, and Doomfist is wrecking your team. But again, that's not on your Soldier. That's on you guys as a team. I think it's just Soldier's the kind of just a bad pick against that team composition. So I mean, anyway, sorry, that's just me venting. Let's see. Yep. So you should be backing up here. So you wasted your bubble.
Meteors!
Just dives in, secures the kill on your Soldier. So Baptiste tried, although Bap put his lamp directly underneath where Doomfist was slamming down. I don't know what Baptiste expected to happen, but that it does damage. Doomfist Slam does damage to anything and everything in its flight path, including lamp. If you had put it off to the side, it might have survived, but Doomfist Slam does a good amount of damage. If you had your bubble there, you probably could have prevented your team from taking all that damage. Alright, and so then all that, it was good. And it's just unfortunate that there's a Mei hiding right here. This is, not a terrible play on your part. You're kind of going on a bit of a flank here, maybe try and push high ground, and there's just a surprise Mei here. Which sucks. Mei is such a fun hero, especially when playing tank. It's good that you get some help here. So again, one of those things where your Soldier should have stayed with you and secured that kill, but if you had comboed in your little melees with your Tesla cannon, probably could have killed her before she ulted. She kind of wasted her ult a little bit here, although it did catch Ana. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So you jump to get out, which is fine. Your Ana dies. There's honestly not too much you could have done there, other than kill the Mei first.
I'm on the objective. Come join me.
To get health, that's fine. So that Primal was a little bit early. Primal is generally your escape when you are low health, right? And you have no cooldowns left. So you probably could have jumped in there and done a little bit more cleave damage with, cannon first before you ulted. But not a bad ult, right? You're trying to stall point, you're trying to push them off to cap point. Don't try and do that against Mei, because Mei can just freeze you. Focus the Zen, focus the Zen. Unlucky. Zen, the Zen, the Zen. So, going back a little bit there, you did this big jump up in the air and jump down. That kind of jump is fine when you're low health and you're just trying to avoid damage. But when you're trying to secure a kill, again, those little short distance jumps where you just kind of pounce over here, do a low angle, you look down a little bit, you push S, right, and then you jump on their Zen, you cleave through them, you kill them, maybe throw in a melee there. Easy kill on their Zenyatta. It's the right idea that you want to focus down and chase their Zen. You probably could have done it a lot earlier. That bubble wasn't really needed. Again, I know you're trying to protect yourself from the Zarya, but the Zarya is just going to keep following you and chasing you. So what I would have done here, waited till you killed the Zen here, and then you can drop bubble down here, and then use your little shield dance to avoid damage from Zarya. And then if you bring Zarya out here, have your Mei and your Soldier to help, although Soldier's probably going to get killed by Doomfist here pretty quick. Yeah, so...
30 seconds.
Freeze!
Oh, yeah. That's one of those little mechanical things where you could have secured the kill in the Zen.
Feels like I have the bends.
Right idea, you just didn't, you just jumped up too high when you could have done a short distance jump.
10 seconds.
Good kill in the Zen.
Reach the objective. Let's coordinate our efforts.
Огонь по готовности!
Focus Yana, not the Zarya. Now you can focus Zarya because she's low, that's good.
Let them up.
Defeat.
Unfortunate. Alright, so, honestly, your decision making and positioning in that game were not terrible. Like, that's definitely better than low silver for sure, right? You know, you made use of high ground, you were um not wasting your cooldowns for the most part. You know, you made sure you always had jump as an escape to get out. You were focusing down their squishies usually. Um, there were times, you know, where you were focusing their tank lines instead of trying to burn down a squishy character. But all in all, dude, that was pretty good monkey play. The biggest things that I think that you should work on is comboing in little melees with your Tesla cannon and just try and delay bubble a little bit. You know, it's good. It's kind of good to use it when you jump in like that, but just delay it a little bit until you're really under threat. You can it'll allow you to stay in there just a little bit longer. Again, you don't want to use it too late or you're going to die, and too early and it's useless. But all in all, you know, that was a good game. You know, you look to be a pretty good monkey. I think if you keep up doing what you're doing, keep using high ground like that, keep jumping in on their back line, keep just being this annoying little fly in the ointment, I think you can definitely climb out of silver. Well done.